All right, guys, welcome back to another New Legacy podcast. I'm with my friend Danny Cárdenas. And literally, brother, thank you for coming out today to do this podcast with us. It's been a long homecoming because you're like, hey, we should do a podcast. Hey, we should do a podcast. And we finally had the opportunity to do it. And can't imagine a better place than this beautiful studio right here. So one of our buddies now actually own the studio. So you're going to be doing a lot more, content here and stuff like that. And I know you got a lot of exciting stuff, coming up on the way because you have your coaching program you're releasing, and then you have some transformation, programs that you want to share. And this is like something that you've been wanting to do for a while, and now you get the chance to go out there and make it happen. So, Danny, where did you come from?
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me, Zune. Guys, I'm from South Florida, personal development coach. It wasn't always like that, though, like you asked. I come from Washington, D.C. That's where I was born. I call the belly of the beast. Immigrant family from Bolivia.
Oh, wow.
Very hardworking folks. Instill a lot of good in me. Some bad things, too, but that's life. And here we are now in Miami. So, getting it done, man.
It's freaking crazy, man. So, tell us, a little bit about your journey, growing up. Was it tough for you? Was it easy for you? What kind of environment were you in? And, how did it shape you?
Oh, for sure. All these things matter, right, guys? Everyone has an origin story. X-Men, I like to say.
Yeah.
And so, born in D.C., immigrant family from Bolivia, good folks, good values. They're baby boomers, my parents. So the conservative culture was there. But again, everyone's got their vices, including my parents. One big thing that shaped me today was my dad's issue with alcoholism. Caused a lot of problems in the house, you can imagine, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of disputes, violence, anger, physical and spiritual. That caused me to just grow up very, very angry and resentful. That affects everything, the mind, body, and spirit, right? Luckily, I got the physical part right, for the most part. By that, I mean by the age of 20, at one point I lost 56 pounds in 3 months and never looked back.
What the heck?
But that doesn't compensate for the spiritual and mental angst. Yeah. That continued my anger onto school, professionally. I wasn't a team player. I was very standoffish as a result. It messed me up with women, too. You know how it goes. It's all interconnected.
Yeah.
And so I realized in my mid-20s, I got to change, bro. And I started running into personal development. Gurus like Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, the big dogs, right? Also had a lot of great peers. You guys know who you are, coworkers who helped me along the way. And here I am today, man. I'm more realized than ever that it's my duty to now give this to the world. Like Wes Watson, our mentor, says, create the men that you admire and give them to the world. It's all about reciprocity. It can't be selfish anymore. It's time to give you folks what you need, because I know it works for me. That's all it is.
Yeah, because literally, even in the coaching scene, it's very, selfless space. I'm building out a community now. This is all new to me. I was inspired by Wes to, I kind of just fell on my lap. We just do really good videos. And then, obviously, you see, people just come up and, yo, can you blah, 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 this? And I'm like, sure, why not? And then we just show them, our thing. And, I don't know, just kind of organic. Kind of does his own thing. We still focus on the marketing and the videos, the main for our clients, but it's kind of cool. And I know it's weird. It's it's nothing, and I don't know. It's a boom. Yeah. And I'm excited, bro. You're on this journey now, and I love your energy. It's today you're super refreshed, super grounded, and you're ready to send it. So I'm just super amazed. But freaking, that's the journey. You can't control it. It's just gotta come on its own time. But talk about talk about a little bit more of your journey. Okay, so you had a lot of issues. Kind of self-separating yourself. How did you overcome that?
Overcoming, it was definitely a journey, guys. It didn't happen overnight. We're talking a lifetime, over 2 decades of being angry, resentful. So you got to take it step by step. Let's see. So many things happen. It's kind of hard to pinpoint, right? I would say probably off the top of my head, just surrounding myself with good people. When I was 20 years old, I started working at a nightclub in Boca Raton, Florida, maybe 40 miles north of here. I was a very hardworking person, and I always had a good vibe about me. Optimism, although I had my spells of anger. You know, the Dr. Jekyll, or what is it, Mr. Hyde, or Doc? Which one is the bad one? The good one?
Oh, I don't know. I think.
God dang it! So you're not helping, man. But you guys get the point, right? The bad one would come out. I would be good for the most part because it was natural.
Yeah.
But then things would happen when I would get stressed out. I would get angry.
Yeah.
But I had this one coworker in particular, a very nice girl. She went to the same college as me. She was very driven, scholastically, but also in fitness. And she saw that I was big into fitness. I had to get myself into shape a few months before I started working there. And so I guess she sensed something good in me. And so she approached me. We became friends quickly. And she started just give me advice on physical fitness, macronutrient counting, which is what I teach people nowadays. You guys see how the world works. Mm-hmm. It all comes full circle. Yeah. But not only that, she also taught me through her own example, really just the importance of being strong and perseverant and being level-headed no matter how hectic life gets. Because this girl was busy. She was a member of the student government. She had this going on, that going on, family, etc. But she taught me a lot through her sheer example. All these things I'm tying up now as I'm sitting here with you, man. So I would say that was one big occurrence in the long string of events. Not just one, guys. Don't think it's going to be one thing. It never is, right? That's how it works.
Yeah.
So
everything just comes out like you can't really force things to happen. It kind of had to like naturally flow. And the one thing that I learned on this journey, speaking with you before, is you can't like force your timeline to happen. You gotta like it's like God's timeline, you know? It's like what he has in the books for you. So if you start messing with that type of timeline, it's just like you're gonna be in a world of hurt. Yeah. What's your opinion on that? Like how do you like how do people deal with the uncertainty? You know, you're always like doing a lot of things, hoping for results. Mm-hmm. But like when the results coming slower than it is, like how do you deal with that uncertainty?
Oh, it's funny you mentioned that, bro. Ironically, the universe works in mysterious ways. I love that quote. I got it from Harold and Kumar, by the way. Have you seen that film?
No. I mean, I'm getting a lot of pieces from like people that I talk to. You know?
Bro, classic. But in one scene, a character says, the universe tends to unfold as it should. Yeah. Just a few days ago, what's helped me deal with impatience of not getting my way now, my end result is this. The idea, the thought that I got from Wes and Yados also, because they're big on this. Yeah. Everything that you can ever imagine for yourself already exists, or else where the thought have come from. It has to come from somewhere. Yeah. From somewhere. You don't have to get scientific with it. It just comes from somewhere, literally. So that got me thinking, everything that I want, my dreams, already exist in some other plane. I just have to materialize them through my daily habits, my actions. Because they're already sitting there for me in the background. I was going to materialize them by becoming somebody who's ultra-disciplined, who's worthy of receiving the riches, physically and otherwise. Right?
That's crazy, because like when you're talking about that, I'm thinking like in the movie Interstellar, where there's like there's like different dimensions, right?
Yes.
And like in one dimension, you already have that thing that you wanted, and then you're just trying to like, you know, in the current moment, you're trying to pull that, attract it towards you. Yeah. Like, what's your thought on like, you know, entrepreneur out there, business owners, there's a lot of people out there, they always trying to like chase instead of attract. Like, what's your take on that?
Huge, bro. It's like talking to girls. When you try to force something, it ain't gonna happen. It repels people, bro. Yeah. You were just talking about this a few moments ago before we started shooting. Yeah. Whenever you try to force things, it doesn't happen. You gotta let it flow naturally. You gotta be a judoka. Play judo, right? Yeah. A judo is a gentle art. You throw somebody, I don't know how this works. I've never practiced it, but I've seen it. You throw somebody using their own momentum. They come at you, you kind of do like a little side turn and throw them with their own weight, their own force. Same thing, bro. Just let it flow. Be water, my friend. I mean, we can go on with the quotes.
No, send it.
These are universal truths. They go to the same point. Don't force anything, bro. Just be you. Have good intentions. Be obviously effective. Skills matter. But intentions combined with skills we can gain over time. Combine those two and that's it, bro. But you got to give it time, bro. God dang it. That's all it is, bro. That's all it is.
It's just like, okay, so on your journey so far, what are like some big lessons that like, you know, obviously a lot of people are going through hard times right now. And like, what are some big lessons that you can share with us today that can help people go through this? You know, this current winter, I'm seeing in the market, it's kind of cold for a lot of people. So like what are some tips and advice you have?
So just dealing with tough times economically, just chaos in general?
Chaos, you know, like emotional, like, you know, because believe it or not, like even holidays are like some of the loneliest days
Oh
for
yeah.
certain type of people. Yeah.
Think of everything in terms of cycles. Everything is cyclical, right?
Yeah.
Winter, summer, peace, war, anger, love. One has to come up the other. So once you start to realize these things and accept them, you become just light. You just realize that I just gotta do my best every day.
Yeah.
Not just think about it, but actually act my way into results.
Hmm.
And it'll come over time. It's like the Chinese bamboo tree, right?
Yeah.
Metaphor, right? That thing, it's a plant that you plant, it doesn't do anything for years and years. I think it's like 5 years minimum. Then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, just boom, right? That's all it is, man. For example, financially, I'm doing okay right now. I'm comfortable.
Uh-huh.
I'm not rich, but I'm not poor, thank God. 'Cause I've been poor in the past, but I'm doing okay now.
Yeah.
But things are, I would say, tight, but they're comfortable. Yesterday, my mom hits me up. Oh, I need somebody to help me co-sign a car. That's more debt on me because I'm co-signing, right? I'm taking on the loan. But I say no. I'm okay with that. Why? Because my intentions are good. I got all the facts that I need to make a logical decision. Don't be fucking stupid, guys. You got to be smart too. Don't just go with your heart. It's got to be logical and well-intentioned. Both. Remember that. Don't ever forget that, guys. I'm telling you from experience. So I'm like, no, I may incur more debt, but this woman needs it, my mom. She needs it to get to work, this new car. She needs a new car that's reliable. What's the alternative? I have her go to a freaking used car dealership in Miami, get ripped off, get a used car high interest? That's terrible, bro. I'm gonna be okay regardless financially. It's an extra load on me, but it's not breaking me. So that's one thing. It could be worse. And two, my mom gets helped out. And that's it. And it's not even my intention to receive anything in return like karma. But I know it's acting in my favor in the background regardless. That's the thing, you know?
Yeah. No, for sure. Because like I think all of us wants the best for our parents.
Yeah.
And literally like, I don't know, my dream is like buy my parents a house, right?
Mhm.
I'm sure your dreams is like to
Yeah.
take care of your folks and give them the life they deserve. But it's literally like, I don't know, you get the option every day to do it or not, and you obviously chose the option to do it, and it's freaking, it's hard, man. How do you say it? Like, life is like gray, right? You think of life as this is how I see it because I do content. Think
Yeah.
of life as like gray, right? Life is gray, and there's only a couple people in life that could paint color into reality and show people the vision. And I believe you're one of those, with the energy you bring. Even like we're not even speaking. I could sense like you got a lot of good energy, and you're ready to like freaking kill it in 2025.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's just the energy, bro. Like no sales script will get like the results. Just the energy. I don't know what it is. It's the good intention.
That's all it is, man.
But explain to me a little bit about the fitness side. Like you obviously have a six pack. You show yourself. You work every day, work out every day, and you do all kinds of like macronutrition measuring, and you help other people with that, and you correct them on a daily basis. Um, what is the secret sauce to having a six pack? Because I know, just from Google, that in the future a six pack is harder to get than having $1 million. So what is the secret sauce to your six pack?
Speaking of sauce, right? Guys, it's crucial two things. You gotta work out, do the work with the weightlifting. That's one thing. But what complements it, like everything else in the universe, it comes in pairs. Nutrition, it's massive. Abs are made in the kitchen. You build them in the gym, but you sculpt away your masterpiece, shred the fat in the kitchen through macros, macronutrient counting and execution, faithfully, not half-ass. Carbs, fat, and protein. Get you someone like a coach or do your own research and get your macros needed for body fat loss and muscle gain at the same time. They work in tandem. Execute daily on those, and you will become shredded and build muscle at the same time. When combined weightlifting, you gotta do both. It's something I tell my people on my stories all the time. You gotta do both. Don't be fucking lazy. And that's it, man. The kitchen and the gym, combine those two faithfully, and you will lose body fat and get in shape. That's all there is to it.
What about people who like, oh, you got to do a bunch of cardio to get fit? Is that true, or is it like, is that a myth?
Untrue. That's a myth. I'm not a scientist when it comes to it, but through my own sheer experience, which is the best teacher, I can tell you right now, you don't need cardio. It helps give you a boost, but it's not needed. As long as you're executing on the macros faithfully with the weightlifting, you are good to go. You've seen me get shredded twice on Wes Watson's program, right? Like nasty.
Yeah.
Not 1 ounce of cardio, guys.
Wow.
Just straight macronutrient execution and weightlifting faithfully. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, like when I see people do weightlifting, I mean, I do a little bit of it myself, but it's like, I think of it's like this guy is like taking the energy from the universe and putting it into his body.
Yeah.
He's becoming this like diamond piece. You know what I'm talking about?
Hell
I don't
yeah.
know how to explain it, but you can tell.
No, for real, no. You said 100%. You're chipping away at the stone, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think it was Michelangelo, them guys,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Just that's it, man. You just chip away, chip away. Have your vision, get the mural, and just chip, 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 chip your mind's eye into the thing, bro. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
What is like, a lot of people like, what's your take on people like, oh, hey, I want to go to the gym, but I'll start tomorrow and stuff like that. Like, give me something hard for those people. They need to hear it.
Guys, stop it. Why? Because tomorrow becomes tomorrow and then never. Start now. That's the thing, though. Momentum begets momentum. I love that term, bro. You get one W after another, you just stack up the wins and wins. Start now. Even if you don't have your diet in place right now, the mere act shows commitment to God and the universe that you're ready. Mm-hmm. You get your diet down tomorrow, but start now. It starts with the mindset. The body then follows. So just get it done now, man. Get off your ass. I mean, what else can I say? Just get to it.
So obviously, I saw you got ripped on West's program, and you were featured a couple times as a testimonial, and how fast your transformation happened. How did you do it? Like, what's the sauce to that?
The sauce, guys, to really pulling off really a transformation physically is getting the mindset right first. Become adherent to a program. Pay attention. Don't question the teacher. You're paying a professional for a reason. Have faith in their expertise. That's why they're there. Execute faithfully, and things will go your way because they have the results themselves. It's undeniable. It's a trust factor. Do that and never look back. That's it. You will get it done.
Got you. So there's a lot of fitness coach, mindset coach out there. Like, what makes you different?
Nice and simple. You guys, any day of the week you go on my Instagram stories, I'm there in the trenches with you. I'm waking up early, I'm reading, I'm exercising, I'm tracking my macros throughout the day. That's what I sell. Early wake-ups, reading, nutrition, and fitness. That's all it is. I'm a guy who's in the trenches with you. Literally, I'm not just saying it. You go on my Instagram, say no more, say less. That's it.
Yeah, I think that's like the cool thing about the new coaching style that you're part of the program. It's more transparency. Like, it's like you literally see what they do. And I think like in the past generation of coaches, I see that like they'll say stuff, they'll post like one every 3 days, one every 5 days, but like you don't really know if those people are doing what they're saying they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
bro.
So I mean, your program is much more transparent. Yeah, tell them a little bit more about your program.
Yeah, guys, so very simply, my program is based on mind, body, and spirit training. The same habits that have helped me better my life, they help me gain clarity. They'll do the same for you. Waking up early, reading, exercising, and tracking your macros, sculpt yourself across the board. That's all it is, easy peasy. There's nothing else to it. That's why it's so effective, right? Keep it simple, stupid. Keep that in mind. Join my program, and like me, you're going to be riding high, man. That's all it is.
Yeah, I mean, that's really what life is about. Like, just, for this moment, be in the moment where your feet is at. I feel like you're very good at that. And I met you a couple times, so I mean, you're a very grounded person, and you're just here to like freaking make the world a better place. I love that you mentioned that like the mindset is the more important stuff in fitness. A lot of people are like, oh, just go to the gym, take supplement, creatine, whatever. What's your take on creatine?
I don't know too much about creatine. I just know that it helps with one, recovery and some sort of strength. I just take it because we've been told forever that it works. People like Wes, my own coach, says it works, so I'll take it. I don't know too much about it though. But more than anything, it comes out to the food you're eating overall and supplementing it, like the word implies, boosting it with things like creatine, whey protein, giving yourself an extra right, to your nutrition. Yeah. But it comes down to food. That's my take on things like creatine. Go for it. I don't see them not working, but make sure there's supplements to actual foods, the real stuff. It takes two to tango. It's all paired, guys. Supplements and real food. So that's my take on that.
I love that because a lot of the younger kids that are in the fitness stuff, they focus more on the supplement than the food. They will have like 20 supplement and be eating ramen noodles and stuff like that.
The word is supplement. It's supplement. Supplement is to add on to something, not the base. Think about the words, guys. The roots of words matter, right? We don't think about things. We just say things, but we got to think about it, get scientific. The answers lie in words, speech.
So, you did mention a lot about God, and you're very faith-based. Was there a moment in your life that was so painful that you had to turn to God to help you go through those?
Particular moments, so many, man. One I can remember is when I was 20 years old. What helped me turn to really just faith in God. When I was 20 years old, there was a point where I was drinking a lot. Not every day, but I would fuck off like in a week. Um, an actual, not week, what I'm saying, an actual Monday through Friday, I would go to drink at a place like Chili's. One day I got back home in daytime and I was still living with my mom, right? And I pulled up, I guess, in the driveway in such a manner that I was very disruptive. And she probably knew that I was drunk because I walked in there, probably smelled like it. And she said something along the lines of, I think she said something about being like my father.
Hmm.
And remember, I told you earlier that that's what caused me a lot of pain, his alcoholism and how it affected my family. And so I blurred out angrily, I'll never be like him.
Yeah.
That's a memory I'll never ever forget. And that's what drives me, that pain. But hey, I guess it served me well. We're here now talking about it. So
Yeah.
if there's one event that drove me to God, that may be one of the most important ones. Not the only one, but a big one.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely right because like it's not sometimes the moment alone. We're going through pain and we're just like not seeing it, but like when our loved ones or friends or family, you know, the people that are closest to us, they see us going through like that pain, and that's what the wake up moment. It's like the oh shit, like that was like a blur, you know. But how let's say someone is an alcoholic or someone is like drinking a lot. Like what is well, obviously no, it's like the best way to be better is to stop drinking. Like, what is the best advice you can give them to take to stop drinking?
What would the alternative look like would be the best advice I would give somebody who's fucking off with alcohol and things like that.
Mhm.
Think about it. Think about who John Doe would be if he put the drink down. Because his reality sucks right now. You hate yourself, don't you? I know you do, motherfucker. Don't lie. Think, what could I be if I put this down? Just think of the opposite of what's bringing you down now. Bam. Practice that. You might see some changes. I don't know. Don't take my word for it, though. What do I know?
So a lot of people, like the big bone people, the people that are like, I believe everyone should be fit, at least active. I'm pretty active, but you're at a different level. So let me take your advice on this. Um, if I'm like a regular American, a little bit fat, what is your best advice for me to start changing my life this week or today or so? Like, what's the first step?
First step for you to start changing your life physically, spiritually, as an average Joe,
Hmm.
would be like what I said about someone who's an alcoholic. Think about what the alternative would be. If you're frustrated with your current reality because of your terrible eating habits, lack of energy as a result, and a million other things that come with it, then just really sit down if you have to, brainstorm. You don't have to write anything down, but say, God dang it, man. I see all these people on Instagram, they're all fit. I feel angry looking at them. I get resentful. But where is this stemming from? Because of what I'm lacking, right? What's the cure? Create that person yourself, man. I know it's cliche because you see it all over the place, right? Don't compare yourself to others, but sometimes maybe it's there for a reason, man. So let that anger just sit there. Use it to your advantage, though. Take action. Create a game plan. Reach out to a coach. But do something, man. You'll be all right.
What I'm hearing, it's like in order to change that, you got to do it now, do it today, and make a plan for it, right? What's your point? What is your take on those people that are like New Year resolutionists, where like every year they, I'm talking about like the gym is filled, the office is like. What's your take on those people? How can you help those people? What are some advice you can give?
My advice for you, New Year's new me people who go balls to the wall for maybe a week, a month or so, is guys, has that ever worked in anything? Jesus Christ, it's common sense, right? I've been through that myself. I've been fat, I've gone on diets, killed it for a few, then got unmotivated, and then stopped, and the whole cycle repeated itself. It's when you learn to accept that suffering is what's going to get you where you want to go. That's where things change. If you go to my Instagram, man, Danny Boy Cárdenas, you're going to see just go down, down, down. It's going to be transformation pictures of me. I've done this several times in my life where I've yo-yoed in weight. But whenever I've gotten sustained results, it's when I decided to just thug it out, as they say, and just keep going through the pain of feeling hunger, dieting, exercising, and then seeing the end result. That's my advice to your New Year's folks. Not that you're wrong. The concept is good, and God bless you for that. But make sure you stick it through and get that fucking fat off your body. You can do it, man. Just stop fucking off. Be patient. You'll be all right.
Okay, so you mentioned a lot about mindset. You mentioned a lot about, fitness is the foundation for a better life, right? What is your, like, and we talk about consistency. Like, how do people like get consistent? It doesn't, a lot of people cyclical, like up and down, up and down. How do you stay on a path where you don't fall off? Because if you don't, I've seen a lot of people like over the past couple of years are totally in a different like levels. Like, how do you get there?
Everyone has their different answer as to how to stay consistent, right? Mine, it's funny how the universe works in mysterious ways. Just this morning, I sell health insurance right now full time, right? And so a thought came to me. My biggest fear for me, professionally especially, is falling behind on my workload. How do I avoid that? Just never stopping. Whether I'm hot, riding high or low, what's the consequence of putting my foot off the gas? Stagnation. Look at my Instagram page. Go down. I never stop working on my mind, body, and spirit. That's why I'm here where I am today. I got a long way to go, especially financially, let's say, but I'm getting there because I'm not stopping. The fear of just fucking it all off in a moment of weakness just keeps me going, man. That's my advice to you guys who struggle with consistency. Think of what the punishment from the universe will be if you don't do that. Remain consistent.
How do you deal with like the temptation of life? For like say you're on the path, right? Like, how do you like not veer off to like women, drugs, alcohol, like spending on crazy stuff, shiny objects? Like, how do you stay on a consistent path? What's your take on that?
My take on staying on a consistent path is ask yourself, has this action ever served me well? They, I think we already have the answers to everything, whether it's to ourselves or God. But if you think about it, Zune, like history repeats itself. That's not just about world wars.
Yeah.
It's about ourselves too. It's the same shit over and over again, maybe presented in different, avenues, but it's the same life lessons being thrown at you. So ask yourself, so what am I about to partake in, even though it feels good? Has it ever served me well? If no, no. Be a stoic about it. Life ain't complicated. We are. Don't ever forget that.
Can you say that one more time?
It's not complicated. We are.
Wow. I mean, like that's so like precise.
It is, bro.
Like, I don't know. I mean, the way I see life after like my run across America, it's way different than like before. Before I was like, oh, I have this goal. I need to hit. Like just force everything to hit it. But now it's like, we're talking about natural flow and just like it's just like attracting things. It's kind of like I'm in a different realm, and I don't know. It's just like life is what you really make of it.
100%.
And like how do you get? For me, it was my run across America. Like, as a mindset coach, what is your take to help people get that paradigm shift from like, oh, hey, I had this big dream. How do you get them rolling?
How do I get them rolling? Just think of who you could be if you did stick to a game plan, and just realize this. Keep things simple. Keep it simple. Stupid is a term from someone named Kelly Johnson. I think he was part of the military, the Navy. You might be familiar because you're a military yourself, right?
Yeah.
He went with that term, and it's just life-changing, guys. Just stick to the basics over time, high volume in a very precise manner, and that's it. Let that momentum beget more momentum. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't need to do this or that. Those people who try to get too intricate, they kind of burn themselves out from their profession seeking. You're not perfect, you never will be, but chase excellence through doing the basics over time well, and that's it. Look at my Instagram again. Daily wake-ups, early, reading nutrition and fitness. The same thing I teach my people, my clients. Just keep it simple, stupid. You go to where you want to go. Just have faith. That's all it is.
And how do people deal with the uncertainty? Like, when you said just have faith and go, do something. Like, how do you deal with the mental uncertainty of, oh, is this going to pay off? Is this not? Is this a waste of time? Or is not? Like, how do you deal with that?
I don't think it's a straight answer. Just think about this, though. You've heard it before, right? There's only one way to find out. Let's not chase the answers to everything.
Yeah.
We're not always going to have the answers. Sometimes you're just going to have faith, which is what Martin Luther King said, right? Something along the lines of faith is going forward without seeing the whole staircase in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it. If you bust your ass, you're not going to die. You didn't die, did you? You know that one guy, the one comedian? But did you die? There you go. That's all it is, guys. Think about things that way. Have faith in yourself and God. You'll be all right. You're probably not going to die. That's all it is.
But, you know, as the holidays are coming up, like, I mean, the biggest thing I've always seen is, you know, like when clients come to you and they have an alcohol problem and you have that, you know, dealing with your father being an alcoholic, like what are your takes on that? Like, how do you get them out of that? Like, what paradigm shift do you do?
Guys, for sure. You see, in my opinion, alcohol isn't the problem, but how do you get somebody out of it being a problem, a paradigm shift, like you said? Guys, just be responsible with it. If you're someone who you know in your heart you have to let it go cold turkey, by all means do it. It's the only logical answer at this point because you've experienced being alcoholic, it doesn't work, etc. Now, if you're somebody who's functional, right, who drinks maybe a few times a week, learn to trim it down. You don't have to go cold turkey. Me, for example, Zune, I've only drank one time this year, and we're in, holy crap, we're in November already. Mm-hmm. But at this point, I only drink an occasion. I'll still enjoy my stuff. It ain't the substance, it's us. So as long as we just accept the responsibility and do things in a very normal, responsible manner, we'll be all right. But that's all I can say, man. Everything in moderation. That's my response to that. Now, if you're an alcoholic, again, don't fucking do it at all. Go cold turkey. But if you're somebody who can handle your shit, with maybe drinking a few times a year, do it. But again, just be aware of who you become when you overdo it. All right, don't become Mr. Dr. Jekyll or whatever. Just be Mr. Hyde or whatever the fuck it is.
You know, the one thing that's consistently on this podcast you mentioned, it's not the substance, it's not the drugs, it's not the alcohol, it's not the woman, or whatever, right? It's you.
Yeah.
So, like, what are some key factors you need to nail down in a person's life in order for them to be on the path to success or the path to their goals?
Oh, for sure. Just have a game plan for sure, and just execute mercilessly, guys. To get to your goals, like you were asking, just have no reservations about not putting your foot off the gas. The easiest thing to do with temptation is to take a rest. If you gotta take a rest, do it, but be productive at the same time, right? Me, if I'm busting my ass at work and not getting anywhere, selling insurance, let me take a breather, but at the same time, let me go into my DMs and start asking or answering people's questions who are reaching out for coaching. You see, I'm resting from the insurance game for a few minutes, but at the same time, being productive. It's all about keeping the ball going, the momentum. W after W, just staying consistent, and God's gonna reward you for your fucking steadfastness, man. But don't you dare fucking lay on your ass. You might just take a nap and wake up the next day pissed off at yourself. All right?
You're not married, are you? Or
No.
Okay. And, you know, how do you deal with being single in these holiday months?
Honestly, Zune, how do I deal with it? I've never had a serious relationship. Mm-hmm. I swear to God. I'm 34. I've never had a serious relationship. And it stems from me seeing an unhealthy one growing up. I know now that I'm older and more aware that I have some kind of thing inside of me stopping me for various reasons. Maybe I'm afraid of being hurt or hurting someone, like I saw my parents do to each other, right? And so I can't really give advice on that because I haven't experienced it. But what I can say is that you can be okay being alone. I have for a long time. But don't force things either, okay? Don't force a relationship. What if that is in itself more poisonous than being alone and bored, right?
What's your take, like, in the mindset for some people that are, you know, are single, like, because, you know, holidays are some of the loneliest day for some people. And a lot of people, like, they like kind of settle down, or like, you know, they hit up like their exes and stuff. Like, what's your advice on that? It's not good, you know. What's your advice?
My advice for that, staying grounded in the holidays when you see everybody having fun and being loved and you're not, if you're in that situation, it's okay to be alone. But at the same time, don't force anything. That could actually be worse than the situation of boredom, right? What if you do run to an ex, like you said, that was toxic, because you feel like you're missing out, FOMO? That could be fucking worse, bro. You might end up with two problems then, right? So think about it, guys. Be smart. It's okay to be solo, but don't force anything either that shouldn't be there, like an ex or whatnot. Just think logically, and you'll be all right.
So, you know, speaking on your journey, you know, tell us a little bit more about the background of, like, you know, what you got going on, and like what's the goal for the next upcoming years?
For sure, bro. I'm glad you asked. So my goals for the future and where I'm starting now, because we got to think about the present and then the future. They got to go hand in hand, right? Mm-hmm. Peanut butter and jelly. Yeah. So for now, my immediate goal is to become the best life and fitness coach possible, one-on-one coaching. Mm-hmm. And from there, building an audience, which will happen over time, the base of clientele. And then something logical will be branching off into verticals, right? Maybe like supplements, gyms that are interconnected to my niche, right? My main focus. So that's my answer to that, man. Just focus on being the best coach possible, the base of it all, fitness and life training, and then veering off into verticals, supplements, gyms, etc. Building an empire around that. So there you have it, man. And if you look at my page, I'm not an entrepreneur yet in the gym or supplement space, but I'm starting to work with people more and more. As you see me build and build, you'll see Danny Boy's going to branch out like an octopus. And I think your guys' logo is like it's some kind of an octopus or Kracken Media.
Yeah.
I mean, we're here for a reason, bro. Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean that the reason we have that logo is because like the Monopoly.
Okay.
Like the Standard Oil.
Oh man! Yeah. Oh, now we're getting. I love that shit, bro.
Rockefeller, yeah,
bro.
So that was like the inspiration for Kracken Media because we have lifestyle, we have podcasts, we have stories, cinematic stories. So we have like a lot of different takes in media, branches.
Okay.
And we do them pretty well. But no, thank you for bringing it up because that's where the inspiration comes from. It's you mentioned it's not just like one area of life you have to master, but it's multiple areas of life,
Yeah.
That goes with like, trying to be successful and get on the right path too as well. Man, when things go well, everything goes well. You feel like the man, right? But when things don't go well, it's like, oh my God, it's like you're running and there's like arrows coming at you. But I think it's like cyclical and it's just part of the journey. And I really like that. It's just like, everything, like you said, everything is cyclical. It's like cycle. How do people deal with the down cycle?
People usually deal with a down cycle in a down manner. Mm-hmm. They don't understand that feeding negativity just spews more of it. I've said several times in this podcast, right? Do and be the opposite of what brings you down. It's only logical. There's east and there's west, north, south, peace and war, anger and love. So guys, keep that in mind. Whatever's fucking you up right now, whether it's your mindset or actions, do the opposite. Bingo! It ain't complicated, we are, guys. Let's get it. That's it, man.
How many podcasts have you been on?
Not many. I've done, under 10, yeah. And one of which was my only physical, Clinton Die.
Yeah.
That was the only physical podcast I did a few weeks ago. The 9 others or so, maybe even less, have just been virtual. But I've done myself well. I've practiced a lot. I've rehearsed. On the way here, yeah. I was just rehearsing my intro story, my origin story. I think it's important to have repetition, right?
Yeah.
Not just in the flesh, but mentally. Just keeping sharp. And when the time comes, you can just express yourself like it's natural, but like we're talking right now.
Yeah, no, like
repetition, bro.
We do media for a lot of people, and even some of the biggest names that we know or we see on Instagram all the time, they struggle a lot on camera. Mm. It seems kind of like I think it's just your program that you do.
Yes.
Like, because you're on camera, like your phone so much.
Come on, man. I didn't think about that. Come on, man. It's all in our face, the answers. You're right.
Yeah, it's like, I was like, why is this dude so natural on camera? Because all the other coaches are like, but some of the other guys I work with, they're worth like tens of millions of dollars. And they can't speak on camera.
You know what's also, bro? You and I had this talk before this, and it reinforced my thought, guys. What makes you natural on camera? Just having good intentions and delivering value. And I know it's cliche because everybody fucking says that in every other clip, but it's so true. Just speak from the heart with the intention of helping people. Your words don't have to be perfect. People will resonate with your energy. And as long as you think about that, I start forgetting the fact that you pointed out that I have some, wet armpit here, right? Some saliva here. It's all good. We adjusted, and life continues. Things will never be perfect. So chase excellence in what you do. Through your heart and the execution, you'll be just fine, man. That's how you get over what was the question again?
Just over the camera shyness.
Yeah. Just lead with the heart. Obviously, you practice your skills, and you'll be just fine. Fuck it. You might go viral. Who knows?
Yeah, because like even we produced like thousands of videos last year, and some of the clips that went viral are not some of the most carefully or crafted clips. Mm-hmm. Like they're always like it's always like a clip with something is off, but the message is good.
Right.
And I think what you got down is like the ability to speak on camera. Like if you, like you said, like if you really say it from the heart, like
Mm-hmm.
there's no other way because whatever comes from the heart will reach the heart. And I think like for you, building a personal brand online, like that has to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like what's your what's your advice on that? Because you've been grinding these months trying to build your personal brand online. What are some tips? You gain a lot of followers too.
Yeah.
Honestly, the first year I only got like my I don't know my Instagram like the first year I try on it I only got like a couple hundred followers.
Okay.
But you've been building up your thing pretty fast. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, tell me.
Yeah. So my advice on really, I guess, just building your base, right?
Mm.
Your presence is, and I have a long ways to go, right? Like 100,000x. But what I can tell you works for me, man, and I feel confident about my future, the success, is that I adhere to two things, guys, and pay attention for growth in general, not just social media creation. One, lead with the heart, good intentions. We talked about that several times now. Combine that with daily practice of your skill sets, though. You
Mm.
gotta have both intention, heart, and skill sets. They both matter. You can't be a one-trick pony. Peanut butter goes with jelly. You can't just have a fucking straight peanut butter sandwich. You could if you want, but your mouth is gonna be dry as hell, right? You
Yeah.
don't want to be dry. You want to be fucking spazazz. So do that, guys. Lead with the heart. Execute. Learn consistently from your own homework and hiring a coach. Don't be fucking cheap. Execute, and you'll be just fine. Growth will be there. Let's get it. You watch my stories also daily. I don't stop doing what I'm doing. I try to perfect it and just lead with good intention, inspiring people. That's it.
It's like clockwork, like what you do. Like
Yeah.
it's like regardless of what goes on, like you just posting the same story. Like boom, I did this, this, and this, and yeah, man, it's just like it's a different type of take on coaching right now. That
Yeah.
maybe that's why you're getting more eyeballs than ever before. But yeah, it's different. It's just more transparency.
Yeah.
When it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. Um, so working with like clients and like working with like people, like trying to better themselves. Like, what are some biggest key factor that you see that's preventing people from reaching their goal or becoming the best version of themselves?
Really, there's self-talk around the actual work that's huge. Wes Watson talks about that, right? Our own teacher, our mentor. It's, guys, embrace the suck because it's going to suck. It's not going anywhere, okay? So that's maybe the point. You're supposed to feel uncomfortable and embrace it. Be a judoka. Have that big motherfucker, that bear John Doe come at you, right? Full force. Use his weight against him, right? And that's it. Think about it that way. So embrace suffering. I'm not saying you have to suffer, but embrace it. You'll become that much stronger and disciplined for it. And think about this. If you can come out shining through adversity, what's going to happen during the good times? Which, again, everything is cyclical, right? So pay attention, guys. Like you just said, Zune. Go to my story, guys. Danny Boy Cárdenas. I don't fucking miss. I wake up early as hell no matter what, 2:45. I wake up, read, exercise, track my macros, no matter what's going on. Whether it's Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, you name it, I'm there in your face, bro. And not going anywhere. That's all it is, guys. Keep that in mind. You'll be just fine.
Nowadays, I don't know, just like the world we live in is very heavy driven by social media. Um, and it's no longer the traditional route where you like have to like go through a bunch of like approval to, you know, create your programs or so. A lot of people are self-creating their programs. What is your take on like, you know, some people are fearful? Because I have a lot of clients, or not, I wouldn't even call them clients, like prospect that reach out and they're like, hey, I want to start this program, blah blah blah. But like, they've been thinking for the last 10 years. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I'm just like, okay, like when you're gonna die soon, like, what is your take? Like, what is one thing I could tell them to have them take action today?
Yeah, one thing you could tell your prospects about not taking action that's going to affect them negatively, just a little note, like straight up, John Doe. Has not taking action gotten you anywhere? I think it should be enough to hit somebody in the heart, right? And if
Yeah,
they're honest, they're going to take action ASAP. Because, motherfucker, I just slapped you in the face. Literally, figuratively, it doesn't matter. I just told you what's up.
yeah.
Stop fucking around, man. Just get to it. That's all it is. Only one way to find out, right? And if you die, you die. You probably won't, so.
What are some like, um, what are some like sales tactic that you could give to me, to the audience who are watching, that they could take and walk away and make progress in their life today. Because I think everything boils down to sales.
Right.
Everything, and the lead generation. Like, what is your take on, like, how do you close people? Like, how do you push them to the next step?
Oh, for sure. One, be a great listener, because listening to people's problems and how you can resolve the problems with your product is key. So just listen intently. Don't interrupt people. It's hard sometimes. You're a human being. You get excited or you get angry. You want to interject. Don't do that. Control yourself. Just listen with your 2 hours you've been given to by God, right? Just listen, take notes, and reiterate when somebody tells you their problems. Or someone tells you, oh, I've been struggling with my weight loss for 10 years. I want to say, you've been struggling for 10 years? I get that. A lot of people do. I did also. Reiterate. The point is not to just let them think that you care. Don't use the word think. That's actually manipulative in a bad way. Mm-hmm. Let them know that you care because you've been in their spots before and you have a solution for them. From there, just move through your sales presentation by reiterating how your product's going to help them and just eliminating all objections. Get the objection of money out of the way, qualify them. Make sure they're committed to have time to do your service. Once you combine those things, showing or letting them know that you care, reiterating to them their problems, and laying out the solution and squashing any objections, then you can go and ask for the sale. You're probably going to get it. But just do things in that order, man. But don't force things. Let it be natural. You'll be all right.
Yeah, because when you force something to happen and it's unnatural, it just feels weird.
Yeah.
And the thing about, content creation and like just on media is like, I don't know if someone ever tell you this, but if you have an audience or you're forcing a video on somebody, the people in the video, the audience can see it.
Right.
It's just like the cameras capture the frequencies, the energy, and everything in that moment. And you're on route to do a lot more podcasts. Like, I've seen, like, one podcast can change a person's life.
Yeah.
Like, it's freaking... I think that's how I discovered Wes.
Yeah, bro. Come on.
I think it was, like, the Brad Lee podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then after that, he, like, went crazy.
Nuts, dude.
Like, he literally has a Bugatti.
Incredible. All it takes is one thing. You know what's funny about that? What if it's more than just one thing? Maybe the one thing, like getting on a podcast, guys, that whether it's big or not, it just happens to go viral, a clip of you. That exposes you to the world. What if it's that occurrence combined with the goodwill you've given the universe over time? What if those things just meet at one point, right? Like your soulmate. You're destined to meet, but you've built yourself to the person who attracts them. So one moment, you walk into the same fucking intersection. Oh, there you are. Think about it like that, guys. So the point is this: don't ever stop working, and your time will come. I don't need to fucking break it down to you in a million different ways. Just know that shit works that way. Don't stop working, and the universe, God, will reward you accordingly when His time, on His time. You just keep doing your thing, be humble, and that's it. Look at my Instagram. I never stop working on my mind, body, and spirit. That keeps me high energy, right? That's why I'm here vibing high with you. We're not scripted. We're doing our thing.
Yeah.
You guys do the same, guys. Just never stop working on yourself. Control the controllables, your mind, body, and spirit. And you'll be just fine. Let's get it.
No, I love that you mentioned that because it's hard for a lot of people, and it's just the way you mentioned it perfectly. Like, I had like 100K month before, and I was just doing the same thing, but it was just like I got blessed with the opportunity. But then when they went and looked at my Instagram, my Kracken Media Instagram, and my website, I built those out. I built them pretty good. I didn't like really have much intention. I just wanted to look nice, but it caught, something went well, and it caught a lot of attention. And then they see the backlogs of work, and like, oh, this is not his one trick pony. He's been doing this for a while. So it's like, I just thought about the viral video, but you were like,
bro,
it's the work behind the scene,
bro.
Yeah.
That's it. Never stop working. It's the work behind the scenes, like you said, guys. Or Zune, I'm sorry. Don't ever stop working. Mm-hmm. Let that momentum build in the background.
Yeah.
God's going to reward you. My son, you've been faithful to the game. Let me bless you real quick. Let me give you John Doe who needs your product this time. He just happened to be there. He clicks on this funnel or whatever, and bam, the match made in heaven. You and John Doe, and that's all it is. Don't put your foot off the gas. Have faith. Operate with good intentions and sharpen your skills. You need good intention and skills, and things will start to happen. I'm telling you from experience, you know Zune, it works too this way, right?
Yeah.
That's all it is, man. Just keep it simple and just go through full throttle. That's it.
So obviously, we live in an imperfect world, right? You see, like, you know, when people say, and you do say it, keep it simple, stupid. How do you keep it simple, stupid? Because our world is chaotic.
Right.
Like, you probably have like a million people pulling you in a million different directions all the
Right.
time. How do you deal with that?
How do I deal with getting pulled a million directions and you're a fucking monster yourself, so you know how it goes.
Yeah.
Just breathe and take one thing at a time. You know what the worst thing I've come to realize about the world in terms of lies?
Yeah.
Is the idea that multitasking is good. It's not. We're meant to monotask. Mono meaning single, right? Just do one thing at a time, guys, and do it well. You know what's funny? You might actually move faster that way. Because if you put your energy into executing something very well, it's done, it's accomplished, and it's given time. You can then move on to the next thing. But if you're half-assing 10 things at a time because you can't concentrate on one, you are royally fucked. Pay attention to what you're doing at the moment. Get it done. Move on to the next. That's how you stay grounded, and that's how you can deal with life. Whether you're having a nice beach day, then you get a call from your mom, she needs this or that, or your girl's bitching at you. No matter what gets on your way, you can handle it. Because you are just focusing on one thing at a time, just kicking back, just knowing everything's going to be fine. That's my advice for that, man. 100%.
No, that's freaking sick.
Yeah.
Because, man, it's just like, what I'm seeing, it's like, you go up a level, and then when you're ready to go up to the next level, it's never convenient.
Right.
It's just like, never convenient. It's like you're stretching so hard, but once you get to the next, you break through that level, it's like, okay, baseline, you're good.
Right.
But it's like, how do people, break through that? You know what I'm talking about, right? Like, for athletes, for like coaches, like when you help people, how do you help them break that fine line between their current level, like level 5 to level 6? Like that, that fine line where it's everything's maxed out, everything, they're like tired, they're getting no sleep, like just like, but they need that next step in order to, like, something big's gonna happen in their life or their business. Like, what's your advice on that?
My advice to just keep going is just that, to keep going. I mean, think about it. If you're putting in work every single day and your heart is telling you this is going to pop off eventually, maybe it's God telling you don't stop, man. Don't put your foot off the pedal. The easiest thing is to get impatient and say, fuck all this, I'm doing this for nothing. But maybe look at examples in life, your heroes, right? Whoever it is in any space. Did they really do anything that was out of this world? Or they just really stick to the things that they were good at nonstop? And let the momentum just build up until a Chinese bamboo tree sprouted out of the earth after 5 years of inactivity, or supposed inactivity, right? So just stay consistent, man. Embrace the suffering, which is impatience. That's like man's biggest, I think, detractor in the road to success. And just live by that, man. Look at my Instagram again, guys. It's what I help my clients with too. My same process, the early wake-ups, re-nutrition and fitness no matter what. I may not get shredded when I'm cutting one day to the next, but over time, you're going to see Danny Cárdenas being posted by Wes Watson for his transformation in 3 months. You see what I'm saying? Because I gave it time. I never stopped. Just be a fucking bull about it. Have faith, and that's it, man. Nothing else to add to that.
Yeah, I love that you're talking about, like, I think aggressive patient. Like, you're
Yeah.
aggressively, like, doing everything you can. You're
Hell
not
yeah.
expecting anything, but it's just, like, pops off when it pops off. What, so, we talk about fitness. We talk about a little bit about mindset. What is the most misconceptual things about diet and nutrition in the American diet?
For sure. I think the worst thing, the misconception about dieting is that you actually have to eat things that are super healthy. I don't abide by that, man. I don't feel like you have to eat organic purely. You can if you want to, but Sally, by all means, go for it, baby girl. Eat your heart out, right? But I think it comes down to more portion control, macronutrients. Getting your macros right. What is that, guys? That's a quantity of carbs, fat, and protein. As long as you get that right, you're going to be at the physique that you want. The leanness, muscle. But you know what's even bigger? I'm honestly starting to believe this, and the scientists will come at me, but fuck you. It's America. I'll say whatever I want, right? As long as I'm not hurting anyone. Your thoughts around things like food. If you think something's going to give you cancer over time, you might just get what you're asking for, even if you don't think you're asking for. The universe is listening.
Yeah.
Think about this. Whatever you focus on, your energy goes to and it builds. Like you water a plant, it's going to grow and grow. If you don't water it, it's going to die eventually, right? What if you just feed your mind the fact that if you eat this thing, you're going to get cancer, like I said? You might just get it over time. But what if you just have faith to yourself? And obviously don't fuck off too much, but just eat moderately healthy. As long as you get your macros right, you'll be good over time. Keep it simple. Watch your thoughts. Because think about it, don't you know people or have heard of people who are super healthy eaters, but they end up still with ailments physically? Then someone who smoked cigarettes their whole life doesn't get cancer in the lung like they're supposed to?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I don't know, man. I don't know everything, but look at the patterns, man. That's all I can say about that.
Yeah. I mean, even like, have you seen those video where they talk about like you speak like good words into water,
Okay.
and it will form the crystal in a good way, and if you put something like you say bad words or something into water and you freeze it, it forms in like a bad pattern.
Dog. I believe that. And you know what? I believe, guys, when it comes to what would you say what you just expressed, right? Is what would that be considered? Looking at things not scientifically even, but just more like faith based, I guess. Not theology, not religion, but like faith as in just.
I mean, they did a test on it.
Okay, I see.
It was like bad words to
Holy crap.
water, and then they freeze it. It's like a bad pattern. You
Okay.
look at that. Yeah, you're gonna love it.
Okay,
Because
interesting.
it aligns with everything you just said earlier, where it's like if you believe that something bad's gonna happen, you're gonna manifest
Bro.
that.
Dog.
Yeah.
Like I said, man, I've seen too many instances of guys. I've seen too many instances of people eating healthy their whole lives, not smoking, but ending up with shitty health.
Mhm.
It's people who live terrible lifestyles who don't end up with anything. The point is, I'm saying I'm not justifying an unhealthy lifestyle, eating bad food, smoking and drinking. But if you consistently live in fear of something bad happening to you, you are fucked. I think that is worse, the mindset, thinking around things and the actual things themselves. It's not the things, it's us. It's not the gun, it's you. Keep that in mind. So be careful with your thoughts. They worth more than the actual thing you're so scared of. Yeah.
No, I mean I love what you just said right there, because it's literally like, I don't know, man. Like the more like I was a 9 to 5er, right?
Okay.
Okay, so like I was a 9 to 5er, and I noticed like I was just doing normal daily routine, working 9 to 5. Like I feel like dead. You know what I'm talking about? I was like, oh, I mean, like if I just go press the fast forward button, in like 30 years, I'll be in the same office doing the same thing.
Fuck, bro.
And hating the same thing. So I took a risk to do it. You know, I'm talking about to start a lifestyle and like to grow a brand. But it's like the moment you walk out of that same like not like the normal path, different things happen that you can't create. And what are some things you experienced once once you started this journey like a couple months ago to grow your own coaching program, to do your own like separate thing instead of being relying on a 9 to 5.
The fact that I can pull off anything, what you just asked me, Zune, was what I started to realize once I started adding coaching to my 9 to 5 lifestyle, which I'm still doing today till the business blows up,
Yeah.
is that I'm a bulletproof motherfucker. Redlining is more doable than not. And I'm pretty sure you're someone who redlines. I could be wrong, right? But meaning that you push it to the limit. You work as much as you can throughout the day until your duties get done. That may result in the lack of sleep, but it is what it is. What a beautiful thing is it when maybe you get 3-4 hours of sleep, maybe even less, but you wake up feeling rested with that little amount of sleep because you feel accomplished, because you're proud of yourself. So adding the coaching on top of my 9 to 5, which eventually the coaching will replace it because it's bound to happen because I won't stop. Mm-hmm. That's what's helped me sustain that grind, that extra grind. Just feeling good that I'm getting shit done regardless. Mm-hmm. That self-pride that's built, that's everything. Guys, look at my Instagram, nonstop action, in and out. I do my clients the same way. I have them just execute no matter what. You don't go to sleep until you get your shit done. You wake up the next day feeling like $1,000,000, and you might just end up with that in your bank account. So,
Damn.
yeah.
So, if you have to boil it down, right? Let's say you get murdered today.
Right.
Or you just disappear, right? What would your message be to the world?
Just be an integrous person, guys, no matter what. Lead with love in your heart. Realize that people are imperfect. That includes you. I grew up someone who was very judgmental. I would see people's bad habits and hate them for it.
Mm-hmm.
Until I started to realize that no one's infallible, including myself. So who the fuck am I to judge someone? I'm not saying to justify their bad actions, vices, deeds. But understand they're humans like you. And they're usually well-intentioned. They're just misguided, right? People are usually good for the most part, man. They are. It's easy to think that people are fucking wicked, but they're not. Evil exists, but few and far between. So have compassion for people. Try to guide them in the right way. But understand that we're all suffering in our own way. And if you have the answers for you, it may just work for someone else. We ain't too much different after all, are we?
So, if you have to boil it down for round two, how would you boil down your fitness, nutrition, and coaching mindset program? Like, what is like the key takeaway that when you have a client on, what do you think they could walk away with that they could take with them for a lifetime?
Just the importance of being someone who's disciplined from following through with what they have to do daily, controlling the controllables. Life will happen. War will happen. Bankruptcy may just happen. Heartbreak will also. But what we can always control is what goes in your mouth, your physical activity level, and your really mindset training through things like reading, waking up early. Control the controllables, leave the rest to God, guys. Look at my story on Instagram, Danny Boy Cárdenas. Non-stop early wake-ups, nutrition and fitness. No matter what happens, I'm going to stick to that. That brings me mental clarity, mental fog out. So no matter what happens, I'm going to keep doing my daily process through the good and bad. And what does that do? It gives me faith. No matter what happens, I'm going to keep moving forward. That's the key. Knowing that I'm going to keep moving forward. And nothing's going to deter me as long as I don't stop on those basics. Yeah.
Gotcha. And on your hero's journey right now, obviously we know it's like the journey is, for some people, it doesn't end until they die or they accomplish their first mission or second mission or so. What part of the hero's journey are you on right now?
Really learning to transcend self, as Wes Watson says. Mm-hmm. I've gotten very good at being me in terms of being in the best fitness, not just physically, but mentally and spiritually for a while. I'm still with my faults. I still lose my temper day to day, but I'm getting better at it. Better than most, I'd say, through merit. I'm not just ego speaking here. Mm-hmm. Now it's time to really just share that with others. I need to be patient when people reach out to me for help, because sometimes they get annoyed. Like, you're supposed to fucking know this shit, bro. Come on, man. That's not always the case, though. People, like I said, are well-intentioned. They just don't have the knowledge or experience. So, realizing that's the case most of the time, be merciful, Danny. Be merciful. Be patient. People have helped you in the past, haven't they? Maybe you should do the same. Maybe you might get to where they are, your mentors, your heroes, if you start acting like them, more selfless. That's my advice on that. Just learn to give more. Don't refrain from doing so. I think that's the key. Karma, reciprocity.
Got you. And Danny, how do people find you for your coaching program? How do people reach out to you? What platform are you on?
Yes, sir. Mostly on Meta, guys. Danny Boy Cárdenas on Instagram. YouTube, same thing. Danny Boy Cárdenas. Facebook is Danny CC954. Meta and YouTube. I'm just doing my thing there daily, guys. Whatever I sell, I live myself, okay? Go to my story again on Instagram any day. I'm doing the same goddamn thing I'm going to teach you. Early wake-ups, reading nutrition and fitness. We're in this together. That's what's sent right to you from others. And you can see it on my content. Only thing left to do is look me up, and that's it. Let's get it.
Danny, appreciate you for coming through on our podcast today and literally sharing your goals, your experience, your lessons, your tips for our audience. We're just trying to build like a helpful community and just share a lot of love. Like, this podcast is all love, and I can't wait to see where you'll be at in the next 7 to 10 months, because we started this podcast not too long ago, and a lot of our clients or people that are on this podcast, they literally went 10 levels up. Wade interviewed round 2 yesterday. Got his Aston Martin. He was doing $30K a month, and 10 months later he's doing $100K plus.
I am a witness.
Isn't that crazy?
I am a witness.
Yeah.
This motherfucker right here. I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah, it's freaking crazy.
Let's go.
Yeah. But hey, thank you, and wish you the best. And then I can't wait. So hit me up when you hit some milestone. We'll give you, part 2 New Legacy podcast.
Let's get it Kracken Media.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate you.